Hello kids. Today our target goal is I can use properties of polyhedra. So before we get started, I want to give you a little joke. Why should you worry about the math teacher holding graph paper? She's definitely plotting something. Funny. Okay, let's get started here. We're going to talk about these vocabulary words. The first one is a polyhedron, which is this shape right here. And a polyhedron has faces, edges, and vertex. So notice that this is a vertex, this right here is the edge, and this is a face. So how do we identify polyhedra? Polyhedra is the plural of polyhedron. So notice that these two are examples of polyhedrons, and this is an example of a non-polyhedron. So first of all, if we take a look at the first polyhedron, that one right there, this one has 5 faces, it has 6 vertices and 9 edges. So this is one of your vertex, if my pen can write. So that's one vertex, and so that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's why it has 6 vertices. And then this is a face right there. The back side is a face. This triangle is a face. This other triangle is a face. And this other rectangle on the bottom is a face. It has 9 edges. So this is an edge right here. That's an edge. 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 This is an edge. This is an edge. And that's an edge. So there's 9 edges if you count them all together. So go ahead and write this down. This shape over here is a polyhedron. It has, in this case, 7 faces, 7 vertices, and 12 edges. So if you take a look at the vertices, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the one on top is 7. These are the edges. That's an edge. That's an edge. That's an edge. That's an edge, etc. And the faces are the triangles around it. And then this bottom shape down here. So this is the reason why these are polyhedron, because it has it has faces, it has vertices, it has edges. So go ahead and write that down. I'm going to take these sticky notes out for right now. And this is a non-polyhedron solid because some of the faces are not polygons. So if you notice this part right here, this is kind of part of a circle. It's the area of a sector. Okay, so this is curvy. So that's why it is not a polyhedron. Okay, let's continue with the notes on the back side. There are 5 types of solids. There's a prism, a pyramid, a cone, a cylinder, and a sphere. So only the prism and pyramids are polyhedrons. And these solids over here, the cylinder, the sphere, and the cone, these are non-polyhedrons. The polyhedra have vertices, faces, and edges. So remember, it has to have vertices, faces, and edges. And some of the faces for these ones are not polygons. So this circle right here, the face of the bottom part, which is a circle, that is not a polygon. Okay, so we have regular polyhedrons. Regular polyhedrons, all faces are congruent, regular polygons. So if you take a look at the convex polyhedron, that's just saying that if any two points on its surface can be connected by a segment that lies entirely inside or on the polyhedron. So here's one point, here's another point, and you can connect them, and this line or this segment is inside the polyhedron. So that's why it's called a regular convex. A non-convex polyhedron, if any two points on its surface can be connected by a segment that lies outside, so these 2 points, and they lie outside, then that's going to be a non-convex polyhedron. So now we have to look at these examples. Is the octahedron, so octa means 8 faces, convex. So let's take a look at this shape. So are all the faces congruent, first of all? Well, most of them are. The bottom ones right here, and those are congruent, but these are not congruent to this. So these faces are not all congruent. Therefore, it's convex, but it's non-regular. Why is it non-regular? Not all the faces are congruent. So go ahead and write this down on your paper. Now for this one, these triangles are all congruent. So this face right here, that's saying that this face is congruent to this face, is congruent to the back face, to the other side face over here. This triangle is congruent to that triangle. Therefore, if all the faces are congruent, you're going to have a convex regular. This one is non-convex and it's non-regular. Just look at how different that shape is from that, and that kind of looks like that one. So then that's what you're going to write. Non-convex, non-congruent. Oops, sorry. Remember, I'm learning how to make videos here. So go ahead and write these ones down. And then the last side, we're just going to talk about the cross section. Before we get talking to the cross section, I have another little joke here. Are monsters good at math? Not unless it's Count Dracula. Ha 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 ha. Hopefully it's funny for you guys. Okay, so cross section. The definition for cross section: the intersection of the plane and the solid. So if you take a plane, this rectangular plane right here, you cut the sphere in half. Your cross section is this circle. So we're gonna describe the shape formed by the intersection of the plane and the cube here. So we have 3 cubes, and we're using this pink plane right here. We're cutting it right in half. So if you notice, what happens when you cut it right in between? You're going to get another square. So this part right here is a square. So the cross section is a square. So go ahead and write that down. If you notice this one, when you take the plane and cut the cube this way, then you're going to have this shape. And how many sides does that shape have? So I am highlighting all the sides, and I'm going to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a 5 shape, which is called the pentagon. So the cross section of this one is a pentagon. Okay. If we take a look, I'm going to take this off for right now. Just put it right here. If we take a look at this one and we cut the cube like this with this plane, you're going to actually make a triangle, 3 sides. So that's the cross section of that one is a triangle. So go ahead and write that down. Okay. So what does this have to do in real life for me? Okay. Let's take this orange right here. This is a sphere. If we cut it right in between, the cross section is a circle. So actually, when you have a 3D or three-dimensional solids and you cut them, you are going to get different shapes like this one, or different shapes of cross section. So in this case, a sphere, you get a circle for it. And it can happen to anything. If you have a cone, and I kind of already cut it, and I go all the way through, cut it all the way, the cross section, if you see, is a circle. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and good luck with the assignment for today.